Peace, 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 brothers and sisters. This is Shu Amun. Without hesitation, let's go into it. This is part 2. Trying to understand what happened to the black man and the black woman. We had so many different leaders, but we were still divided. We had Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, W.D. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey. So many different groups. Christianity. We had the Nation of Islam. So many different organizations. The Moors. So many different groups to the point that we shouldn't have failed. Pan-Africans. Why did we fail? Are we psychologically damaged? I want to go back to the book, the Willie Lynch. I really want to go back and I want to read another paragraph. And I want you to listen. I want you to listen. And I want you to see the abuse. I've seen this. Yes, this is a famous picture. This picture is one of the most famous pictures of them all. It looks like a tree. The whips this man had to endure to survive. Let's make a slave. But before I go there, I just want to show you photographs. Black people in the cotton fields. Of course, you're not in the cotton field no more. You think so? But let me break it down. The breaking process of the African woman. Thinking I'm joking? The breaking process of the African woman. Now, everybody wasn't no slave, and we know that. But the question is who? Who genetically has that fear, that post-traumatic syndrome, slave syndrome, in their blood and have passed it down through generations? Everybody wasn't a slave. We understand that. But you don't know who comes from that stock. But let me read this real quick. The Willie Lynch letters. The breaking process of the African woman. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. If she shows any signs of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use the bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of bitch out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so you spoil good economics when it completes submission. She will train her offsprings in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. What that sound like? Like it's a process if you doing an animal like that. You call to get the bitch out of her. Now let's use modern times. The woman can call the police on your ass. Police come snatch your ass up out of your fucking house. The police can come and beat you to death. Nobody's coming to fucking fight the police. Why? Because they were smart enough to hire black people. Oh, they did it then too. They called the bull whip. See, in slavery, the master always had certain books to go against the rest. So ain't nothing different when you see a black police officer. See, because that black police officer is struggling every motherfucking day. When he go out there, he's telling himself he's to protect and serve. Well, let me get something clearly. No police officer in the history of police is protecting and serving, because you cannot. You cannot protect and serve. That's bullshit. What they're doing is making rounds to protect the property. They can't see what's going on in your apartment. So how the fuck are they protecting you? They can't see what's in the hallways. They can't see if you are on one side of the block and the automobile is on the other side of the block, and they're looking as best they could. How are they going to protect you when you're on the other side of the block? So what are they protecting you at? No, they're protecting the fucking property. They don't make sure you don't steal. No damages. See, because you can get into a fight on the south side of that block. They can come from the north side of the block. They ain't got to break that shit up. They could drive right past you. Oh, we know that happened plenty of times. So let's get that shit out of your fucking head. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't want to. Because you believe they're going to protect you. Now, let's make one thing clear. How the fuck they going to protect you if you and your husband get into a fight and you took a frying pan and smashed him over the fucking head and this motherfucker's head split open? Are you going to call the police and say, I smashed my husband's head and his head is split open and he's bleeding to death? What do you think they're going to do to you? Turn around, put the handcuffs on your ass while they asking you a bunch of fucking questions. Oh, yeah. You really think they're going to hurry up and get an ambulance for your husband that you just split his motherfucking head open? No. They're not going to rush like that. Because they don't give a fuck about you. Oh, you forgot? You forgot the first page that I wrote, that I read? You're not a citizen. See, you keep forgetting. I think that's on page 5. Am I correct? Okay, let's go to page 5. Let me read that again for you. Because you too stupid. You stupid. You don't realize that. Hold on, because I just showed you. Let me show you. Page 5. Right? Hold on. Because everything I just said to your dumb ass, you still don't get it. Okay. Now, let me read it to your dumb ass. Okay? The U.S. Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, like Roger B. Taney, ensured that the law did not protect slaves, but imbued their white oppressor, who physically, mentally, and psychologically abused them with full supremacy. No Negro, whether slave or free, could ever be considered a citizen of the United States. The Honorable Judge wrote, in 1640, Maryland became the first colony to institutionalize slavery in America. And of course, in 1641, Massachusetts, in its written legislation titled Body of Liberty, state that the bondage with legal servitude at that moment changes the statutes of African hostages to automatically chattel slaves that could be bought and sold at the creation of their white owners. So you think that changed up, huh? You think that just changed up, didn't it? Why haven't a black woman take a white man to court and said he owed me child support? How come the white man says, listen, I'll give you a little bit of money every month. We ain't got to go through all that. And you absolutely go along with it. Now he'll tell you, listen, I'm busy. I really don't want to, be in a child's life. Because you remember, I do have another family over here, so we don't want to mess with that. And you know what she do? She goes along with that. Because it's already in her blood, genetically, that she's going to bow down to that motherfucker. Now, here's the case. I did tell you, everybody wasn't a slave. So if you get a black woman who they talking about, I ain't never gonna mess with no white man. Because that shit is in her. It is in her. She's not gonna do it. And if she did had sex with a white man, and that motherfucker told me he ain't gonna take care of that baby, best to believe that nigga gonna be paying all kinds of money. Trust and believe. Because he already know, oh, this bitch is hard-headed. No. No. It's not that she's hard-headed, that she's a different kind of female. I just read the fucking book to you on page 17. How they believe the breaking process of the African woman. I just read it to you. They're going to do all kinds of tests. What do the white man do now? He sit there be all nice to you and sweet with you. What you think the rules changed, nigga? He be all sweet with you. Listen here, you don't need him. I got you a house, an apartment, gas, electricity. You know we own that. You can't bring that motherfucker here. You can't bring him here. This was used to go down back in the days. And I'm going to tell you the difference of the women today and the day of yesterday. The women of yesterday, they was bringing their men in anyways. They were bringing their men in. They had to hide them. Because if they got caught, everybody could kick the fuck out. When a man got himself on his feet, he said, fuck the projects or fuck the government, move the fuck out. And that's what they did. But somehow that man got lazy. Not all of them. Hold on. Well, brothers and sisters, this is part 2 of the Willie Lynch letters. See you in the third part.